Over the last few years, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service has been working on a program to make the national budget more accessible to Jamaicans. The government is accomplishing this in part through the development of a national budget secondary school tour, which ran for 2 weeks in April. A document called A Citizen's Guide to the Budget has also been created to garner greater understanding of the government's revenues and expenditures for a particular period. With $1 trillion in the budget for the fiscal year 2023-2024, a simplified overview of the budget will assist Jamaicans, in this case high school students, to better grasp what the country is doing. Understanding where the money comes from to pay bills, how funds are allocated, and management of the public debt are all explained. Taxes generate most of the country's revenue, with the general consumption tax (GCT) being the main source, followed by income tax, customs duties, and property tax. When raising revenue, it is vital to understand how the cash will be used. This is why Portfolio Minister Naja Clark did the math.
With $1 trillion of budget, about 30% goes into debt service. So let's say approximately 300 billion. Everybody got that? Yes. And then the next biggest item, the biggest single item is wages and salaries. And that adds up to about 370 billion. So how much have we gone so far? 300 plus 370, that's about 670, right? The next 15 items overall, after the first three, take us from 700 billion to just about $800 billion. A budget, by necessity, involves intergenerational compromise. That intergenerational compromise has to be fair and equitable. If we tilt it too much in any one direction, it generates inequity in our country. If we take all of the money and we spend it on people who have retired, it means nothing for today or for tomorrow. If we take all of our money and we spend it on things today, we just put it in salaries, which is just for today, then it means we have no investment for the future. And you, students of today, represent our future. One of the best ways for us to invest in our future is through capital expenditure. And capital expenditure means expenditure, the fruits of which last for a long time, right? So when we build a new school, that is capital expenditure. That's investing for the future. A new hospital, a new highway. One of the most challenging things to do in a budget exercise is to make sure that we achieve the appropriate balance between yesterday, today, and tomorrow. For a young country, a country with so many persons under the age of 25, I would argue that investing for tomorrow ought to be a major consideration in every budget exercise. A very important part of our budgetary provisions is to make sure that our education system continues to turn out competent and qualified individuals. As we seek to improve our economy and to grow economic output, the surest way to do that is through investment in human capital development, right? It is the productivity of the individual citizen that will ultimately determine the productivity of the overall society. So ensuring that each one of you has what you need to learn is critically important. And the budget is geared towards making the necessary provisions that each student in Jamaica can have what he or she needs in order to learn. Because our future depends on you.
To find out more about the country's budget, visit the Ministry of Finance and the Public Services website at www.mfp.gov.gh. mof.gov.jm.